In this financial lesson about spending discipline, I'm going to show you the exact principle that separates people who build wealth from people who chase bigger paychecks forever. Most financial advice screams earn more, but smart money managers know there's another ledger that matters more, and if you don't balance it, no salary will ever feel like enough. Here's what nobody tells you about income. You can double your paycheck and still end up broke, not because you're bad with money, because you never learned the difference between earning and keeping. The financial industry profits when you focus on the wrong number. They want you staring at your salary, distracted, while the real wealth leak happens in a place your bank statement doesn't measure. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact system that makes frugality feel like freedom instead of restriction. But first, you need to see why your current approach is working against you. Most people think their financial problem is income. If I just made $60,000 instead of $45,000, everything would click. But here's the brutal truth from wealth psychology. Lifestyle inflation eats raises faster than you earn them, which means in financial terms, every dollar added to your paycheck triggers an invisible budget expansion that drains your savings before you even notice. Think about the last time you got a raise. You probably felt relief for 2 weeks, then your spending absorbed it like water into sand. New subscriptions, nicer groceries, an upgraded car payment because you can afford it now. 6 months later, you're back where you started, anxious about money, checking your account at 2 a.m, feeling like you're failing even though the number went up. That's not weakness, that's human nature colliding with a system designed to extract. And ancient wisdom says the antidote isn't more money, it's a different kind of discipline. Let me show you what I mean through someone who learned this the hard way. Rachel, 29, operations coordinator at a logistics company. Salary $2,600 a month, married 3 years, no kids yet, living in a 1-bedroom apartment they can barely afford. For 4 years straight, she lived paycheck to paycheck despite 2 raises during that time. Here's the specific moment of fracture, Thursday, 11:37 at night. Rachel checks her bank app, $214 left, rent is due in 3 days, her chest tightens. Pulse spikes to 138 beats per minute. She's lying next to her husband who's already asleep, and the literal thought running through her mind is, I'm almost 30 and I can't keep $300 in the bank. She wasn't reckless, no gambling, no shopping addiction. She tracked every expense obsessively, 43 different categories in her budgeting app, checked her account 19 times per day on average. The math said she should be fine, but the account balance said something else. Tuesday afternoon, 3:15, her card declined at the gas station. The attendant's eyes, she felt them judge her. She paid cash from the emergency $20 in her wallet and sat in the car for 11 minutes, hands shaking, before she could drive. Here's what changed everything for Rachel. She realized she'd been balancing the wrong ledger. Your bank tracks dollars, but there's another accounting system most people never learn, what I call the character ledger. It measures something your paycheck can't buy, the capacity to want less. And wealthy minimalists know this ledger is where real financial power lives. Now this might sound strange, but frugality isn't deprivation when you understand what it actually builds. In financial terms, every dollar you don't spend becomes 3 things simultaneously. Savings that compound, stress you don't carry, and freedom you didn't have to ask permission for. Rachel's mistake wasn't her salary. It was trying to track her way to wealth without addressing the invisible variable, her relationship with enough. Most budgeting advice tells you to cut expenses, track spending, optimize categories. That's financial anorexia, restriction that breaks you. What Rachel needed was a complete reframe of what money management actually means. Here's the protocol she used, and it didn't require a single app. Day 1, she stopped tracking expenses entirely. Instead, she wrote down 3 questions. What do I actually need? What am I buying to fill a hole? What would my life look like if I wanted nothing? The first question revealed 23 monthly subscriptions she'd forgotten existed. $87 per month draining automatically. Financial noise masquerading as necessity. The second question hit harder. She realized she bought coffee every morning not because she needed caffeine, but because the ritual made her feel like someone who had their life together. That's not a coffee purchase, that's identity maintenance. $5 per day, $150 per month, $1,800 per year on a feeling. The third question unlocked everything. She imagined a version of herself who didn't need constant acquisition to feel whole. What would that person's budget look like? And the answer shocked her. Simple, clean, light. Day 3, first clarity. She cut 17 subscriptions, started making coffee at home, and felt something unexpected, not deprivation, but spaciousness. Her morning routine became 10 minutes of silence instead of a transaction. Day 8, first week without obsessive account checking. The anxiety that made her refresh her balance at 2 in the morning started to fade, not because her account balance changed dramatically, it hadn't yet, but because she'd stopped using money as a thermometer for self-worth. Day 14, Rachel told me later, I slept through the night without checking my bank app. I didn't even realize it until the next morning. Her roommate noticed before she did. Week 3, casual comment over breakfast, you're different lately, less anxious about bills. Rachel hadn't mentioned the change to anyone. Month 2, $400 in emergency fund, first time in her adult life. Month 4, paid off first credit card completely, $1,500 that had been hanging over her for 2 years. Month 6, credit score up 67 points without changing her income by a single dollar. But here's what Rachel said that tells you everything about why this works. I didn't become some minimalist guru. I just became someone who stopped needing things to prove I was okay. That's the character ledger balancing in real time. Ancient Stoic wisdom, centuries before credit cards existed, already knew this truth. The person who needs nothing is richer than the person who has everything but wants more. Modern financial education forgot this. It got replaced by optimize your income and invest aggressively and build multiple streams. All useful, but useless if you can't manage the stream you already have. Here's the framework Stoic philosophers would give you if they saw your budget today. Step 1, subtract before you add. Most people try to earn more while spending the same or more. That's running on a treadmill. Stoicism says reverse it. Find one expense this week that you're paying for out of habit, not necessity, and eliminate it. Not reduce it, eliminate it. Step 2, audit your invisible purchases. These aren't line items. They're the conveniences you buy without questioning. Delivery fees, premium options, upgrades you don't use. Add them up for 1 month. The number will hurt. That pain is information. Step 3, build the quiet fund. Don't call it emergency savings. That makes it feel like something bad has to happen for you to use it. Call it the freedom fund. It's the money that lets you say no. No to the job that drains you. No to the debt that controls you. No to the anxiety at 11:37 at night. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being free. Rachel's husband said something month 5 that she wrote down. We have less stuff, but it feels like we have more space to breathe. That's what frugality does when you stop treating it like punishment and start treating it like power. The financial world doesn't want you to hear this. There's no subscription service for wanting less. No app to track your emotional relationship with enough. No guru to sell you a course on being content. That's why it's the quietest wealth secret. It doesn't generate revenue for anyone but you. So what does this mean for you tonight? It means you don't need a raise to start winning financially. You need to close the gap between what you earn and what you need. And the fastest way to close that gap isn't making more, it's needing less. Here's your exact action step. Open your bank statement. Find one recurring charge you pay out of autopilot, not intention. Cancel it tonight, not next week, tonight. Feel the small victory of taking back control of $1 you were bleeding without noticing. Then tomorrow, do it again. One expense, one decision, one entry in the character ledger that says, I'm someone who controls my money, not someone my money controls. That discipline, quiet, consistent, unglamorous, compounds faster than any investment strategy, because it's not just saving money, it's building the psychological muscle that makes wealth possible in the first place. Ancient wisdom carved this into stone millennia ago. Wealth isn't what you have, it's what you don't need. Modern finance buried that truth under credit card offers and lifestyle inflation. But the principle is still true, still waiting for you to discover it. Rachel didn't get rich overnight. She didn't quit her job or start a side hustle or buy cryptocurrency. She just stopped spending money she didn't have on things she didn't need to impress people she didn't like. And 12 months later, she had $7,400 saved, 0 credit card debt, and a nervous system that didn't spike every time she checked her account. That's not a fairy tale, that's the character ledger balanced. Comment ledger balanced if you found one invisible expense tonight and took action. I read every single one. The video on screen now shows you how to build an emergency fund using these same timeless principles, without willpower, without apps, without waiting for a bigger paycheck. You'll want to see it.